Hey guys, it's Jessie V. Today I have a V time for you guys, but it's actually not gonna be a funny V time like you're used to seeing. As you know, I love making people laugh, I love making humorous videos, they're my favorite type of videos to make, but not everything in my life is funny, so I can't all the time do a funny video, but I will as much as possible. Today I'm gonna be talking about my bullying experiences. This video was actually requested a bunch of times, and I feel like I just need to share my experiences with you so some of you don't feel so alone. I want you guys to think of me as your older sister or your best friend. So I really hope you guys are okay with me doing a serious video like this. I just think it's important to do sometimes, you know? So the bulk of my bullying started in grade 8, and when I say bullying, I mean I was bullied by other people. I wasn't the bully. At the very start of grade 8, I had a bunch of friends that were kind of referred to as the popular kids. Although I didn't think of myself as popular, I still sat with them and I had a good time just hanging out. We always sat together at lunch, we always hung out together at recess, we were pretty much inseparable. Every lunch when I was sitting with my big group of friends, I'd see this girl sitting by herself. She looked really sad and lonely, and what really annoyed me was the fact that people would constantly throw food at her, call her names, even though she was doing absolutely nothing to them. And what was really bad was that she was an extremely shy kid, so she would never defend herself or fight back in any way. Even some of the girls that I was sitting with would call her names, and it would really just irritate me and make me feel bad for sitting with them while they were doing this to this girl. So one day I just thought, I can't sit with these popular girls anymore if they're gonna be doing these horrible things. I didn't want to be a part of that. So one day at lunch, instead of sitting at my usual table, I went to sit beside her to give her company. Of course, I was a little bit worried to do this at first because my friends would start making fun of me for going to sit with the girl that they called the loner. So I was kind of putting my reputation on the line, which I think for anybody would make them a bit nervous. But in my heart, I just knew that it was the right thing to do. So I went and sat with her, and she was really quiet at first, so I found myself doing most of the talking, but she seemed really happy that I was sitting with her because she had been alone for most of the time. As expected, after that lunch, my friends stopped me in the hallway and they asked me why the heck I would sit with her. They were extremely harsh with me and basically said, it's her or us. So I either sit with the popular kids or I sit with the girl that was by herself. In my gut, I just felt like I had to help this girl, so I talked to my friends and I was like, listen, I think maybe we should just all sit with her so I don't have to choose either of you. And they said no, so I said, well then I'm sorry guys, I'm gonna be sitting with this girl because she needs more help than you do. So every lunch I would sit with this girl, I would spend recess with this girl, and I got tons of backlash for that. People that used to be my friends started treating me like they used to treat her. So basically, me and this girl were being extremely bullied. It's such a sad thing. You try to stand up for somebody for being bullied, and then you start getting bullied as well. Helping someone should not result in you being punished, but unfortunately, that's what happened to me. But I didn't give up. I continued sitting with her, and I continued defending her. But things progressively got worse for me. I always took the bus home from school every day, and pretty much everybody had their regular seat on the bus. I always, for the last 3 years, sat in the same spot near the back of the bus. So some of the girls started putting their backpacks and their coats on the place where I was supposed to sit down. When I would try and move their stuff, they would either grab me or push me out of the way. And they would basically tell me that this seat is taken, even though the whole ride, they were the only ones sitting there. There were literally times where I had to stand in the aisle of the bus because no one would let me sit down. It was extremely embarrassing, and I remember going home sometimes and just crying. It was pretty much a complete nightmare for me until I graduated grade 8. That was the only way to get away from these bullies. The girl that I had stood up for eventually got into modeling and really got a confidence boost. She actually began getting really popular, getting a lot of attention, and at first I was happy for her. I thought back to the time that she would sit alone at lunch when she would get bullied, so I thought, wow, this is great. She's modeling, she's getting attention, she feels confident. That's awesome. But unfortunately, this led to her getting extremely full of herself. I remember this one particular day we were having a sleepover, and she really wanted to watch this Paris Hilton movie called The Hottie and the Naughty, which was a really horrible movie, by the way. When the movie finished, she turned to me and she was like, Jess, this is just like you and me. I'm the hottie and you're the naughty. And she started dying of laughter, and I just felt so offended because not only did she just say that, she started talking about how pretty she was was and like how not pretty I was, but we still hung out. And I was so hurt because I had done so much for her through grade 8, and then once she left grade 8 and got popular, she basically treated me like garbage. Another time I was bullied pretty badly was when I took ballet classes. For those of you who don't know, I did ballet for 14 years, and I'll always remember being bullied by some people in my class. I would always sit in the change room before my ballet class started because I usually had like 15 minutes to do something, so I would take out my diary and I would start writing in it to pass the time. This one time I went to the washroom and a girl went through my bag, found my diary, and started reading it to everybody in the change room. I remember walking back into the change room and just seeing this like circle of girls reading my diary, and I was so embarrassed. They were just laughing so hard. They had even taken pictures of some of the pages in my diary. I was so embarrassed I couldn't look at anybody after that, and I actually quit ballet not too long after that. And it was sad because it was my passion, but I just left because I was overwhelmed and I couldn't do it anymore. And then I was also bullied at the beginning of my high school years as well. There was this phase where everybody on Facebook had this app called the Honesty Box. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but basically the friends you had on Facebook could go on this app and ask you questions anonymously. It started off as good fun, but then I started getting these really offensive questions and comments, and it just ended up turning into hate mail. Some of this hate mail would say, "I see you around school and I think you're really ugly. Why are you so shy? No wonder nobody likes you. You're so awkward and creepy." I constantly replied to these anonymous messages saying, "Who are you? Tell me who's sending these things." And eventually I got a reply with, "We are the people who sit with you at lunch." And it really hurt so bad because these girls that I was sitting with at lunch, I thought they were my friends. I thought I could trust them, but it ended up being the closest people to me that were sending this hate mail. So I stopped sitting with them at lunch and I ended up going to the library every single lunch to read, and in the library we weren't allowed to bring food, so basically I would skip my lunch and go to the library just to get away from all these people. And that was around the time that I was extremely skinny, and it wasn't a good year for me. It was probably, gosh, grade 9 or 10, I think. I just remember being so hungry by the time I got home from school. But I just wanted to let you guys know that by the end of grade 11 and grade 12, I was able to find the strength to defend myself because I just wouldn't put up with it anymore. So since then, I have not been bullied once. All the hate that I get on YouTube, it doesn't bother me because I'm confident in myself. So I was really able to get past all of the bullying. I just wish that I was able to go back to the time that I was bullied as I am now to just defend myself from all these people. I was so shy back then. I was so insecure. I just wish back then I knew what I know now. What you have to remember is bullies prey on victims because they know they won't stand up for themselves. I know it sounds scary to stand up for yourself if the person is bigger or older or looks tougher than you, but it's so worth it because once you stand up for yourself, they'll stop. And if they don't, you have to go to someone you trust to talk about it, like a teacher, a family member, a friend, someone who you know can help you. When a bully sees that you're not going to take their crap anymore, they're going to give up and move on to somebody else. And the same goes if you see someone getting bullied. Never just stand there watching. I wish back then that someone had come to my rescue. I mean, us humans, we're all one giant family. We have to be there for one another. All this hate and fighting and bullying is so pointless. It can cause suicide. It can cause someone to hurt themselves. It could just ruin someone's life. So you gotta stand up for people. You have to stand up for yourself. And if you're the bully, you have to stop because you're not making your life better and you're not making the person you're bullying's life better. It's just making everything a million times worse than it was. And with all this being said, I just wanted to let you guys know that my sister also had a lot of trouble. She was being bullied in high school, and I'm gonna get her to come here and talk about it for a bit because I think it's good to share different bullying stories because like I said, it helps people to not feel like they're so alone. So here is Mandy. She's gonna talk to you for a little bit about her experience.
It's Mandy. Bullying has truly changed my life. Every single obstacle that gets thrown at you in life is a learning opportunity and a chance to better yourself. I was bullied for all of high school. You know, I used to get a lot of online messages, a lot of threats. At one point, one of the girls in my classes threw a chair at me. It ended up just me being alone by myself with all these horrible messages I was getting every day. I'd live it at school and then I'd come home and I'd get all these messages online about, you know, go kill yourself, life would be better without you. It was really bad. I'd go to the bathroom and I'd see my name written written all over the walls in every single bathroom of the school. Mandy, go kill yourself. And in a way, sometimes you have to hit rock bottom, because once you go down and you hit rock bottom, all you can do is go up. I got this tattoo. It says stay strong. It's because of my journey. Sometimes you might feel like there's no use in living anymore, but it's always the darkest before the dawn, and you just have to keep going. I changed a bad situation to a good situation, and you guys can too. And believe me, there is such thing as karma, so don't think that you ever need to get back at anyone. The universe will do it by itself. Be kind to your enemies, love your enemies, peace and love, never forget it. I love you guys.
Okay, so Jessie V has asked me to talk a little bit from a parent's perspective, because bullying is such a huge problem today. Let's first talk about the bully. The bully's bullying because they have no self-esteem, and you need to look at that, and you need to really understand that. They come off as popular, maybe really smart, really having everything together, and they're not. Because if they did, they wouldn't need to harm someone else. So first of all, put that in perspective and understand that they have serious problems, and that's why they're bullying. Maybe they have abuse in their life. Maybe they haven't had a great upbringing. First of all, if you're being bullied online, please keep record of everything. So you're screenshotting, you're maybe taking a picture of it, you're showing an adult. Don't take it. You're better than that. Don't accept it. You're better than that. But I always think it's great to give them a warning that you're going to do it. Because for some people, that's all they need. They need to hear, I'm going to report this, and they stop. And then you're giving another person a chance to do better. I really think schools need to take more action than sometimes they do. Have your proof in front of you when you go to see a principal, because if you go for help and you don't have any proof, it's very hard to prove. It's your word against theirs. What I'd love to see in schools today is that there's a committee, a team, a group of students who lobby and rally and circle around the students in need. So you have a child being bullied in your school. These students will walk with them down the hallway, will go for lunch with them in the cafeteria, will stand up for them when nobody else does. We'll be that friend and be there for them to protect, to assist, to help them get through the hard times. I think if more schools did that, if there were these committees and teams out there, I think this wouldn't happen as much. If anyone's listening at a high school, or you're a student that could take this to your school and say, hey, I have a great idea, I think we should form a committee and a team against bullying. I just think we need to put a stop to this. And you can. You see someone alone in a cafeteria, go sit with them. You see someone in the hallway getting threatened, go stand up and say, hey, what's going on? I hope this helps. Take action today.
Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I really hope you took something from this video and can help others. And I also hope you don't mind that I did a serious video this time. For the next little while, they will be funny videos because I really enjoy just making humorous videos. They're my favorite type of videos to make. My Twitter, my Instagram, my Facebook page, and my Snapchat is in the description along with my vlog channel. So check them out, follow, and until next time, guys, bye!